My youngest son, every time friends come over the house, his friends that is, I end up seeing kids leaving with stuff. And I'm like, hey, I have to tell their parents, hey, they leaving with something. And the kid will be like, no, Ephraim gave it to me. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You giving them that? And he just constantly does it. And I got to the point where sometimes I have to, I just bought it for him. I can't let him get that away. But many times, I'm letting him go ahead and give it to him. And to the point where my daughter is starting to follow in his footsteps with giving their friends gifts. And they're not trying to buy their friends. It's really, really pure what they're doing. But for me, I found, as I watched them, how convicting it is. It's convicting to watch my kids freely give stuff away that seemingly has so much value. And as I think about that, I think about Jesus. In John 15, around the 13th verse, 12 and 13th verse, he says, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another. It says, no greater love than this, than one lay his life down for his friends. Love. Love is this week's Advent theme, the last and final week. And when I think about love, it's impossible to think about love and not think about Jesus. But what does love mean? Love is unconditional commitment. Jesus Christ. That means to be committed to someone beyond your affection for them. That doesn't mean affections aren't involved. It just means that affections aren't driven by the decision to seek out good that someone else needs. That's crazy. When we look at the Bible says that God demonstrates his own love for us. And while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Yeah. That means, how does God feel about sin? How does God feel about me and my sin? And he was willing to be frustrated with me, his wrath coming after me, but being willing, this is crazy, to wade his wrath in order to give me grace. That's love. He made a decision that my sin, your sin, wouldn't get in the way of that. And Jesus Christ ultimately came to save. He came to save us from sin, came to save us from Satan, came to save us from the wrath of God, but he also came in a beautiful way to save us to new life. To new life. Many times we talk about what we saved from, but what in the world are we saved to? We're saved to new life. Reconciliation to God. And we're saved to the enjoyment of life and being able to abundantly be supplied what is needed to live for God. And so where his love was enough to take us from and save us from some things, but then also on the other side, save us too. We got to talk more about that. That's what Jesus' love. It reminds me of this, the song, Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. I don't know if I'm in tune. Love lifted me. I love that song. Love lifted us. And I think more and more today, as we talk about Advent, we talk about all of the issues, I want to hear love more. I want to see us having the resilience to be committed beyond our feelings. God bless you. Have a great Advent season.